Good evening, I'm Camelia and this is KiniNews. Muhyiddin has expressed disappointment with the Speaker's decision to allow 6 former Bersatu MPs to keep their seats. He said Bersatu will be challenging the decision.
The 6 former Bersatu lawmakers whose status as MPs is in question will get to keep their seats. This is according to Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin. In a press conference today, Muhyiddin confirmed the decision by Dewan Rakyat Speaker Johari Abdul.
Keputusan Yang Berhormat Speaker dengan memberikan alasan dangkal dan tafsiran songsang menunjukkan Yang Berhormat Speaker telah mencemar perlembagaan persekutuan, sedangkan beliau telah berikrar untuk menjunjung dan mempertahankan perlembagaan persekutuan dan undang-undang negara. Ketiganya, peruntukan perkara 49A dalam kurungan 1A kecil 2 Perlembagaan Persekutuan menyatakan dengan jelas bahawa kerusi ahli Dewan Rakyat hendaklah menjadi kosong jika dia tidak lagi menjadi anggota parti politik tersebut setelah dipilih ke Dewan Rakyat sebagai anggota suatu parti politik tersebut.
Muhyiddin added that in this case, it was clear that the 6 are no longer Bersatu members according to the party's constitution. He said Johari's decision also went against the provisions of the law and beyond his jurisdiction as Speaker. With this, Muhyiddin said Bersatu will engage with legal experts to take further action to challenge the Speaker's decision. With this letter to Bersatu, Johari had reportedly argued that Bersatu's rule went against the federal constitution and parliament rules that guaranteed MPs freedom to speak, debate and vote. The rule in question stipulates that Bersatu members who go against their party are considered to have forfeited their membership.
Meanwhile, DAP believes that their party anti-hopping rule is not affected by the decision. According to DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke, this is as their provisions were enacted before the 15th general election.
DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke believes that his party's anti-hopping rule is unaffected by the recent Speaker's decision on the 6 former Bersatu lawmakers. Loke explained that this was because, unlike Bersatu, the party had enacted the provision before the 15th general election. He said in the case of Bersatu, their situation is somewhat different because their party's constitutional amendments took place after the general election. Elaborating, Loke said that unlike those who contested under the DAP banner during the last general election, the Bersatu 6 were neither aware of the provision nor bound by it. Loke said he was confident that DAP would have a strong case if the party had to make a similar request to the Speaker. Earlier, Dewan Rakyat Speaker Johari Abdul had rejected Bersatu's bid to remove 6 MPs who had their party memberships forfeited after failing to abide by their updated rules. The rules, similar to those implemented by DAP, Amanah and UMNO, punishes party rebels by forfeiting their membership.
Human Resources Minister Stephen Sim said he has no intention of protecting any individual found to be guilty in the HRD Corp investigations. Sim added that he will not hesitate to take action as minister.
Human Resources Minister Stephen Sim has stressed that he will not protect any individuals implicated in the mismanagement of Human Resource Development Corporation. Speaking in Parliament today, he said he has no intention to point fingers or protect anyone. What's more, those who are guilty. He said the investigations into HRD Corp leads to any guilty individual. He won't hesitate to take appropriate action even if they are a minister, deputy minister or in senior management. He also reiterated that his ministry takes the findings of the AG's report as well as Parliament's Public Accounts Committee report seriously. He said that they have taken measures and lodged a report to the MACC within 24 hours after the AG's report's findings were released. HRD Corp is in hot water following the revelation by Auditor General Wan Suraya Wan Muhammad Radzi in the AG's report that the government-linked corporation failed its audit. The audit report had recommended that the Human Resources Ministry refer to GLC to enforcement agencies. Meanwhile, the PAC revealed that HRD Corp had collected over 3 billion ringgit from employers for training programs, but used a portion of it for unrelated investments such as bonds and the stock market.
Dr. Mahathir Mohamad celebrated his 99th birthday today. Although he is no longer an MP, Mahathir is still actively attending events and commenting on current events on social media.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who was born on July 10, 1925, turned 99 years old today. Mahathir is the only politician who has held the country's top executive post twice and is also the longest-serving Malaysian premier so far. He also holds the record as the world's oldest prime minister when he was re-elected in May 2018. Mahathir took up his first stint in office in 1981, which lasted for 22 years before he resigned in 2003. He held the post again in 2018 until 2020, when he was removed from office following a political coup staged by his then party, Bersatu. He lost his deposit in the 2022 general election when seeking re-election as Langkawi MP. Since then, Mahathir has remained active on social media, regularly releasing statements on current events and often taking swipes at his successors from Abdullah Ahmad Badawi to the current Premier Anwar Ibrahim. Mahathir has a history of heart illnesses and has undergone several heart surgeries in the past. Earlier this year, he was admitted for an infection at the National Heart Institute and was discharged 53 days later.
While we are on the topic of Mahathir, the former premier has filed an appeal to open the Batu RCI to the public.
Former Premier Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has turned to the Court of Appeal to open public access to the closed-door Batu Royal Commission of Inquiry. Mahathir is also seeking a court order to remove former Chief Justice Muhammad Raus Sharif from chairing the RCI over alleged bias. Mahathir's counsel Muhammad Rafiq Rashid Ali confirmed that a notice of appeal was filed yesterday. In his affidavit in support of his judicial review, Mahathir claimed there was past animosity between him and Raus. This is because he had filed a court challenge against Raus's appointment as an additional federal court judge past his retirement age in 2017. Mahathir claimed that the two other RCI members he sought to recuse, Baljit Singh Sidhu and Muhammad Rida Abdul Qadir, were biased as they were part of a previous task force over the issue during his second tenure as Prime Minister. His appeal seeks to get leave to commence with the remainder of the legal action, namely to open the RCI to the public and to challenge Raus's appointment as its chairperson. The RCI is looking into Malaysia's 2018 withdrawal of its appeal over the International Court of Justice decision to award Batu sovereignty to Singapore. In 2022, then Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob revealed the findings of the task force report that Mahathir was possibly negligent by failing to file an appeal against the ICJ's decision.
The IGP has clarified that cops will still be on duty and will carry out their services as normal, despite police station gates closing at 10 p.m.
Inspector General of Police Razuruddin Hussein said the Royal Malaysia Police will provide services as usual even though police stations were instructed to close their gates after 10 p.m. He said the public can still lodge complaints and reports at stations after that time. Razuruddin told Bernama that the 10 p.m. gate closure currently involved police stations in remote or rural areas. He added that the gate closures will be implemented after standard operating procedure on the matter is presented to Bukit Aman Management Department Director Azmi Kasim. Yesterday, Home Minister Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the Home Ministry instructed that gates of police stations in the country be closed after 10 p.m. This was said to be a security measure following the attack on the Ulu Tiram station in Johor. He added that the order was implemented to balance the public's needs to be at the police station and to ensure the safety of personnel on duty. Following some reported confusion over the issue, the Home Ministry later clarified that closing the gate of the police station does not mean closing it completely.
That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you would like access to news like this and more, subscribe now to Malaysia Kini and support independent media. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.